How's everyone doing, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, I'm going to do a video today that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now. As you can tell from the title, acid attacks. Obviously, I've been meaning to do it for a while. Finally got around to doing it. And what it is on the news has been there was a spate of acid attacks in London last night. Now, what I'm being told, right, and what I'm hearing is that for those that don't know, I'm a former gang member, former criminal, been to prison, all that sort of stuff, right? Being arrested for offensive weapons, knives, everything, right? Firearms and everything in between. So yeah, what I'm hearing is that there's now certain gangs are using this new initiation where gang members, right, are being asked and being told, go out and acid attack somebody, right, to be accepted into the gang, right? So that's one reason for the increase. And two, in general, acid, it's cheap to buy and stuff. You can buy it on the web. People get it shipped in from abroad. You can also, what will end up happening, the government will end up clamping down on it. It'll go onto the dark web and be pushed underground. The prices will go up. All the usual sort of stuff that happens with when there's when the government bans something. It doesn't mean it might be illegal to possess and to buy and everything, but all it really means in layman's terms is it gets pushed underground, guys. That's the be all and end all of it. That's the top and bottom. So yeah, so what I'm hearing as well is that, like, if you want to hurt someone, right, I'll give you a bit of a mindset, right? Say, obviously over the years and stuff, right, I've had people that I've clashed with and everything. If you want to hurt somebody, right, stabbing them, right, yeah, you can kill them, there's a chance you can kill them and everything, right? But you're gonna stab, like you stab them in the body or something, right? And it's not seen, is it? Right? But then if you throw acid in somebody's face, right, you can disfigure them for life. You can blind them for life. And if that person then, say they lose the sight in one eye, if that person then looks in the mirror and has the sight in one eye, right, every time they look in the mirror, they'll remember why it's happened and stuff. Originally, it was used, a lot of the early stories on acid, right, was used on Asian females and stuff by, like, former partners or families and stuff like that. It's now going into the criminal underworld and stuff where acid is the choice, it's the weapon of choice to disfigure someone. Like I say, if you stab somebody in the body, right, when they wear a t-shirt, you can't see the scars, right? But when you acid attack somebody, obviously the main area of the body you'll go through is the face. And like I say, there's many reasons why. One, to disfigure someone. And obviously secondly, to blind them and stuff, right? And the idea is that person then, when they look in the mirror, they'll always think of the person that carried out that attack. It happened to, there's a female that's in the media now, called Katie Piper. She was the subject of an acid attack. She was a really good looking girl. I think it was a former boyfriend or something became infatuated with her, and when she knocked him back on his advances, he carried out an acid attack. And like I say, you get men that do it to women so that no one will find that woman attractive anymore and she's not able to move on with her life and stuff. That's obviously from a jealous, possessive ex-boyfriend. But like I say, what's happening now is it's more being used in the criminal fraternity to carry out attacks, to disfigure people. And like I say, it's cheap, right? The thing is, right, firearms, right, if you get caught on the street with a firearm, right, with a shooter, right, you're getting 5 years for the shooter, and on average about a year a bullet, right? Then you've got knives and stuff. Obviously, there was banning, the government stopped stop and searches because it was down to racial profiling and stuff. I think that's now been lifted now. Cressida Dick, the Metropolitan Borough Commissioner for the police and stuff, I think now she's got powers where her officers are actually going out and doing stop and searches and stuff. But if you are stopped and searched, chances are you're going to be black or you're going to be Asian, right? Because, like I say, the police are racist and stuff, and that's who they deem to be carrying these sorts of weapons. If you've got a man walking down the street with a suit on, and you've got a gang member, street kid, tracksuit, and down his pants, yeah, strap bag, smoking weed, right? Who's going to get the stop? The black youth, right? All day, every day, right? So like I say, the thing is with acid, right? With the advancements and stuff like that, obviously technology and everything else, right? People choose weapons, right? If you get, like I say, if you get caught with a shooter, 5 years. If you get caught with a knife, right? You could be made a mockery and a scapegoat by the courts and sent to prison for having a bladed article, or an offensive weapon, knuckle duster, blah blah blah, zombie knives, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it goes on, guys. And like I say, with fewer police on the streets and stuff, crime's soaring, guys. Knife crime in London, in the UK, is a big thing, but it's been a big thing in London. I think there's been 32 plus deaths this year, and we're only 6 months into the year, right? That's the whole. That's more than the whole of 2016. And now you've got acid attacks. Like I say, it's cheap to buy. People get it shipped in. People can get it in the UK. People go abroad to get it shipped in to the UK and stuff like that. And like I say, the idea is you can blind the person, you can disfigure them. And if you've got an issue with somebody, right? I'm talking from a criminal's perspective now. If you've got an issue with somebody, right, scarring that person for life, where the face is peeled off, because obviously when your acid throws into somebody's face, it drags the skin off the face, and obviously if any goes into the eye, the retina and the whole eye as a whole is quite a delicate, sensitive area of the body, and it burns through the retina, and the optic nerve and everything gets destroyed, and people become blind. And like I say, if the person's blind in one eye, right, they'll still be able, they'll know that obviously they've been acid attacked, and they'll look at it and it'll always remind them of the person that's done it, or the reasons why, whether it's a jealous ex-boyfriend, jealous ex-girlfriend. But like I say, they're on the increase, and with fewer police on the streets, what do people really expect? I mean, things happen, like you get that, like the gangs and stuff like that, and the criminal fraternity, what they do, they see knives and they see guns and think, yeah, but I don't really want to get caught with that because I'm going to jail. So like I say, the new way is with beakers full of acid and stuff. To look at, you would think if it's a clear solution, you could think it was water or something like that. And like I say, the fact is, the high impact, it's a high impact like thing. If it happens to you and you do acid attack somebody, and what happens as well is, if somebody doesn't want to carry out the acid attack themselves, then what they'll do, they'll pay a druggie or a drug user or a smackhead or someone and say, right, I'll give you 50 quid, right, if you go and throw this at this kid's face. This is where he lives, this is where he hangs out, and that druggie, because of his need to get drugs for his body and stuff, he'll do it. And it's cheap, man. Like, you're talking GBH, like I think they'll end up classifying it as attempted murder charge if someone gets acid attacked and stuff. But I think as it stands now, I think it is actually classed as GBH, grievous bodily harm. You're looking at years and years and years, obviously, if you get caught and stuff like that. But like I say, a set of gloves, and you can put it into a spray, or you can just in a beaker and throw it into somebody's face. And like I say, you've got a high probability that the person's going to be blinded or permanently disfigured for life. And like I say, there's many reasons why people carry out sort of acid attacks and stuff. And like I say, the reason they're on the increase is because gang members, gang elders, are now stating to the youth, look, so you want to join our gang, this is what you do. And you've got, with community police stations closing in the communities and on the estates and stuff throughout the country, inner city estates and stuff, the youths are running feral. And like I say, gang people wanting to be involved in gangs, coming from broken homes, wanting a right to belong, want to earn some money, want to sell the weed, want to listen to the grime music, want to do a bit of this and a bit of that to earn money and stuff, right, from the youth, right? And then they see what the elders are, and they see the money and the bling and the girls and the stuff that comes with it, and they think, you know what, I want that life. And that's why they join gangs and stuff. And you can set the initiation bar high with acid attacks and shootings and stabbings and everything, because you know that the youth, if they really want to be part of the gang and stuff and peer pressure, they're going to do it. Like I say, I don't condone these attacks in any way, shape or form, but I can see it for what it is and stuff, and see it from the criminal side of things and think, yeah, if you had an issue with somebody, right, like I say, you get these jealous, possessive ex-boyfriends, right, that the girlfriend will be a good-looking girl, right, the lad's thinking, you know what, fuck that, you broke me heart, you don't want to be with me, right, if I'm not having you, nobody's having you. And that's the mentality. And then, like I say, on the back of it, various acid attacks have happened. Again, it seems to be centralising in London, but obviously that's just what's being reported in the media. Obviously there probably are acid attacks going on in other towns and cities throughout the UK and stuff. Like I say, with fewer police on the streets and less visual deterrent and stuff, what do they honestly believe is going to happen? You guys have to let me know. Have you ever had any incidents? Has there been any incidents near you? Have you ever, like I say, some people do it themselves, or other people will pay a druggie, right, and say, right, you go and do it. And like I say, money talks. 50 quid to a druggie would be like big money to a serious criminal. So the druggie thinks, oh, well, I need to get my fix, 50 quid or 100 quid or something, it's a lot of money. And they'll go out and just carry out these sorts of attacks and stuff like that. And like I say, that then the criminal that's ordered the acid attack, right, there's no trace about him. He's not putting his neck on the line. It's costing £50 to £100, and the hit, as it would be called in the criminal fraternity, would happen. Like I say, some people prefer to do it themselves and stuff. A balaclava and a set of gloves, guys, goes a long way in society, right? You'd be surprised. There's CCTV everywhere, right? But there's fewer police on the streets, right? And like I say, with community police stations and intercity state police stations closing on a weekly basis, right, and a monthly basis, right, it's a green light for criminals to commit crimes across the board. And this is why we're seeing a rise and an increase in acid attacks and stuff, and they're gonna continue to happen. Like I say, the youth use them, Asians use them, whites are using them, and black gangs are using them, right? It's just going on. Like I say, you've got the jealous ex-boyfriend or the jealous ex-girlfriend that wants to acid attack their former partner because if they don't want it, if they can't have them, nobody will want them, sort of thing, by burning the face and everything else and blinding them and everything, right? And then you've got the actual gangs that are using it as initiations and stuff, and then you've got the criminal fraternity that if they've got a rival that within the criminal underworld or gang or whatever, right, the attack is it's a warning sign, and if somebody stabs you, right, like I say, you can recover and it's a nick of the skin and the scar might be a few inches, right? You throw acid in somebody's face, right, the skin peels off, it blisters, the disfigured, the fucking, the nose, the mouth, the eyes, everything's gone. Like I say, like looking like a burns victim, unfortunately. And like I say, you can see why the rise and the increase is happening. It's cheap. It looks like it could be like water. It just looks like water. Who was to test? Unless you did an acid test on it, you wouldn't know it was acid, would you? Like I say, so it's less obvious to the police. If the police were to see a container full of acid, right, they're not going to know, are they? Like I say, it goes on. And like I say, you're going to see an increase with fewer police guys and soaring crime rates, knife crime, gun crime, and now acid attacks are the new choice of weapon for many, and you're going to see them continue to happen. Right, guys, I'm going to leave this video here, guys. Like I say, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll speak to you all soon. Let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, bye.